my name's Kay, and this is Kay's Tiny House Adventures, where I provide updates on building my tiny house and prepping the land where I hope to park the tiny house. A lot of things have happened over the last few weeks, and so I've got a ton of fun updates for you. One being, I have a brand new, to me, riding lawnmower, thanks to Adam and Valerie, who wanted to get rid of their 11-year-old Husqvarna, and I was more than happy to take it on. I have never ridden on a riding lawnmower before. It is very fun. We went to Adam and Valerie's to check it out. He showed us how to attach the lawnmower part to the tractor part. He gave us a run over of, how to do all the things with it. And when we tried to start it, it of course didn't start fine. So Adam charged it up. We waited a while doing that and just talking through it. We got it on Doug's trailer, and then we drove it to my new property. And when we went to get it off, it wouldn't start. So we determined that just get a new battery. So we went to O'Reilly's, got a new battery, put it in, tested it out, worked good, except the motor was making a funny waving sound. Didn't sound right, but it also didn't sound wrong. So I was like, whatever, it works. But Doug was really trying to figure it out. So we go back to my property, take it for a test run, trying to figure out why is it making this sound. Luckily, Adam had given us the rest of his fuel and some spare tanks. So we were able to kind of run that gas down and refill it. And I think it was just the gas, or it just needed to be warmed up, because afterwards it was running fine. We did our little joy rides. Mission accomplished. We chained it up so no one could steal it, and then we covered it with a tarp and went on our merry way. Now, I explained that story in a minute, but it was a very long day because we kept having to drive to different parts of town to my property is not conveniently located next to anything. It's not far, granted, but from my house, from Doug's house, from Phil's house, it's about 15 minutes. From any hardware store, it's about 15 minutes. Any grocery store, it's about 15 minutes. So imagine getting to my property and then realizing you need something. It's a time suck kind of for that. That was a really long day, but I felt really good. And I went back the following morning to finish up mowing the rest of the property. Speaking of driving, so I get to my property that next morning, realize I forgot the keys to the tractor. I'm not used to needing keys to mow my lawn, so I blamed that. So I had to drive back home, drive back. Again, a lot of time suck for something that only really lasted 20 minutes, but I digress. And I'm really proud of myself. I'm just doing country girl stuff, and I got the front corner of my property done, and then I decided to go around behind the septic tank area. And the thing with this tall grass is that it's hiding a lot of stuff. So there's holes in the ground, There's stone, stumps, sticks. It's all out there. I've never seen a slithery critter out there, so knock on wood that I don't run into that, but boots are mandatory on my property. You just kind of have blind faith with the mower that it would survive whatever you might accidentally run over because you literally can't see it. All of a sudden, this mower started making this really wacky sound, and I learned that it wasn't the blades because I can troubleshoot this much of something that I've never used in my life. And I was Googling like the belts, because that's what it sounded like, was that it was a belt motor problem, but the belt I could see looked fine. Later I learned that that belt is for the mower and the blades, not for the motor of the tractor part. So I was really nervous to drive it when it was making that sound, because the sound was only happening when you released the clutch. And I was like, I'm not gonna make something worse for this tractor thing that I just got. So luckily Adam told us how to like release this thing to manually push the tractor. So I did that, very proud of myself, got it back in its parking spot, rechained it up, retarped it, and just kind of was like, oh, that's a bummer. I don't know what I did, but luckily I have a Doug and a Phil who can help me figure it out. Later that week, Doug, Phil, and I go to the property to work on the well that had broken pipes because of the freeze from Christmas time. There shouldn't be any more freezes this year, so I'm hoping that I can fix it now and then build a pump house around it so that it's protected in the future. But after that long day of fixing the pipes, Phil and Doug helped me troubleshoot the lawnmower. And this took another 30-45 minutes to figure out what is making that sound. We ended up seeing that it was another belt system up under the seat. It was really hard to see. Phil Googled it and we found a guy who had like the exact same problem, and it looks like it's just needs a pulley replacement. The pulleys, when they get old, they just start making that grinding sound. They start rattling and shaking more. They're not as stable. So hopefully I can just order that pulley and we can replace it, fix it. Lawnmower, I'm gonna give it a good B+ of a project done. It's clearly going to be a project for the rest of its life because it need to be taken care of. I am not used to taking care of large machinery, besides like a car, I guess, but even then I'm able to like drive the car to get it fixed by someone. The lawnmower is much harder to get to a different place. So I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot about this as things come along, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm loving it. It's really fun, and hopefully replacing this pulley will not be a crazy endeavor as long as we remember to bring everything the first go round. So we also fixed the well pipes, as I had mentioned. That was really fun. Mostly because I learned a lot. I've never done plumbing before, who knew? And so we forgot the seal glue, which is pretty essential. So now we're driving to Tractor Supply. Woo! Tractor Supply did not have the thread seal we needed, but Doug got to pick up some dog food, and I got to look at the little ducks and the little chickens that they have. Totally want to get chickens now. 100%. We ended up going back to Doug's to get the thread seal. Round 2. I got to learn some really basic information about PVC pipes and the different pieces and how you prime and glue them together. One cool thing about this unfortunate incident is that when the well guys plumbed that whole system after they fixed the pump, they took out the spigot that was there. And that spigot is really important because it's like the only exterior water source. So I don't know why they took it out, but we were able to put it back in. Unfortunately, I had found the spigot. We were going to reuse the spigot. I took a picture of it. Doug was like, you should put this in a safe place. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is. It's gone. We traversed the property multiple times trying to find it. We looked in the mobile home. Like, it is not there. I don't know if a dog maybe had taken it away. It's the only thing that I can think of. The neighbor dogs are known to move people's junk from one yard to another. I don't know if I just placed it somewhere and then completely deleted it from my brain. That is also very viable. Either way, I think I'll have to get a new spigot. So to me, plumbing, 80% done, 85% done, really. The larger part is then rewiring the well to the electric box. So that's going to be an electrical day where we'll do some trenching, put in the conduit underground, and get it properly wired up. And then that will unlock the ability to do burn piles on my property so that instead of creating huge stacks of limbs and wood, we can do something more fun with that. So all of these things are like unlocking the next step in my adventure. So that's been really cool. What else has been going on? Trailer life. So my trailer was supposed to come around like today-ish. That was just the initial quote. And so I was reaching back out to the trailer folks to figure out, hey, is there an update on delivery time so I can prepare? And I was basically ghosted for like 3 weeks to a month. I mean, I get it. They're a small company. It's like a mom and pop kind of shop. I found a different email address that I ended up using and they responded like almost immediately. So I can't fault them for it. It was just me and my own paranoia because I had read about all of these scams before I purchased from anyone. So I had done a lot of due diligence to pick out this specific company to work with. And I was like, this guy's legit. He's a real person. He's like selling people trailers. Like I can see his other customers. Like I think he's real. But you know, when that paranoia hits, it hits hard. So I just had a stressful like week trying to like figure out, what do I do? What do you do when you get scammed? And when you Google that, it's all about elderly people getting scammed. And I just then felt bad about elderly people getting scammed. Like, why is that so? Anyways, totally unrelated. I am not getting scammed. I got an update. I'm 5th in line, which technically doesn't mean I'm not getting scammed, but at least I have something concrete to work off of, which is fine. Because there's still a pile of stone right next to where we're going to park the trailer to build the house. We've been helping Doug use up that stone. He's building a retaining wall around his barn. Every now and then I'll go and help him like fill it up with concrete or do whatever needs to be done because all projects are way more fun when you have another person with you. Totally. So Doug is building this retaining wall next to his barn, and our task today is to fill this up with concrete. So you can see the lower layers, there's already a stack of concrete, and so with the new layers we're gonna fill it up, and we've just got to fill up this big L, and that is the goal for today. Here's the barn. Unfortunately, Doug's tractor is having sympathy pains with my little lawnmower and its battery is dead. So hopefully it will start. Here's our little cement mixer, our little wheelbarrow, And then over here, you can see the pile of stone. That needs to be moved because my trailer is gonna go here. So we kind of need to move that out of the way. That's what the retaining wall project's for. You can see the pump house back there. That's what we originally used that stone for. And then the rest will get used for the rest of this wall and a mailbox. Fun time. That is what we did most recently. Yeah, I'm hoping that the next time I see y'all, I will have a working normal well with a spigot with an external water source. The mobile home will have water again, so then Debbie can do her magic and see if she can sell the mobile home, and we can then start clearing land, etc., until the trailer gets here. And when the trailer gets here, it's going to be magic. So super excited. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.